All right, hello. Welcome back after the long crusade. I still had time. Is on.
Oh boy.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Chump Change. My name is Lorenzo, and
I'm
with me
Pree.
today,
Ha, gotcha.
and we're back. We've been MIA for 8 months. They've been spamming the ping and bot lane, not knowing where the fuck we're at.
Yeah, spamming Mia. You know us, man. Yeah, we've been Mia for a little bit. Yeah, it's just like last time. You know, we go Mia, and then it's like that uncle who only comes around every couple years.
Yeah,
that's us.
Or your favorite YouTuber that posts once a year, except ours is roughly 6 to 8 months.
And we're not as big. Or maybe not even your favorite YouTuber.
Yeah, no, I don't need to be anyone's favorite. If they're watching, then I'm content.
That's good enough for me. But yeah, no, we got a couple topics to talk about today. I think we're gonna just, for the first episode back, I think we're just gonna send it. So roll the intro.
Oh, you're gonna do the thing? All right, let me open these ding dang notes right here. First thing that we have on the list for this episode is what we already said. We've been gone. Well, we're gonna talk a little bit about that.
Yep.
The timing.
It sounds like you want to go first. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say that I was gonna give some backstory.
Okay, go ahead.
Because there's some. This is probably gonna come out before I finish the found footage that I told you about. Because you and me saw each other last night. This is gonna come out before that. So the last time you and I were together in front of a camera was actually at Evo 24.
Yeah, and just like how I got my fancy schmancy lily charm from Evo 2024. If the camera focus, oh, look at that, so pretty. Look, there's even the backside. Look at that. But yeah, sorry, Evo 24.
Yeah, it's March 16th of 2025.
Oh, when is the next Evo? Evo 2024?
In 4 months, and we confirmed with each other that we're gonna go to that one too.
There you go.
Hopefully, I can crank out a couple videos with you between now and then, just so there's a reason for us to be there this time.
Yeah. You know, I get
besides to playing, obviously.
Do my training arc videos. I guess it's not even. I'm not even informational. I'm just trying to follow somebody else's guide.
Yeah. That honestly, you could stream that too. That's the gimmick. It's just I watch like the TikTok react videos or the streams. Instead of you reacting to TikTok, so you're like, man, this guy's Lily Strat's ass. Next video.
There we go.
Exactly like that. That's a whole thing. That's the whole video.
You know, because I'm a Tekken player, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play Tekken, and that's going to be my game. Is there any games that you were looking forward to this time? Because there wasn't one for you last time.
Yeah, so I am picking up Tekken again. I'm going to put a little more time just because last year you and I were really crunched for time too. Our first 2 trips for Big Chumps were really crunched. But
yeah.
This year they're doing Rivals of Aether 2, which is it's an indie title, platform fighter, like a la Smash or Multiverses, whatever, Smash clone you guys watching are fans of. It's produced by, oh god, what's his company's name? Off-Brand. I think that's Ludwig's production company. Off-Brand made a games division, and they partnered to distribute, I think, for the developer of Rivals of Aether, and I think that notoriety got them picked up for Evo 2025. And there's a lot of side games. I think I sent you a screenshot. There's a lot more games this year than there was last year. There's a lot of games represented this year. Oh.
Sorry, quick side note. I'm over here looking at Rivals of A32.
Yeah.
Recommended graphics card, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060. My 1080 Ti. Still in the game, baby.
Oh yeah. You're still there. All the other games that I've seen and I've tried playing lately, though, you don't got it like that no more.
Man, yeah, that's what's holding me back.
But yeah, I want to play Rivals. There's a lot more games there, like I was saying. I think there's 8 main titles this year, and there's 8 side games or 8 smaller games that are featured at Evo this year. So there's like 16 main event games being shown off this year. And what I'm wondering, correct me if I'm wrong, Pree, the convention hall, they only used a portion of West Hall last year, right? They didn't use the full center.
So, yes and no. I would say they used the arena, but they also said that they changed the venue from the year before. But I think the biggest thing about Evo was the arena, like the main stage is what I would say.
Yeah, them taking up the biggest room in West, or because the people that worked in the convention center were like, oh yeah, we had to take down barrier walls in this hall for the like all the normal shit.
Yeah,
them setting up the arena was really cool. I'm wondering because I think there was construction going on in East Hall too. Like some of the convention center was under construction still.
We might as well talk about it. Okay, well, so before last year, so the previous year before, what they were saying was the tickets to go in the arena, you had to pay to go in and watch. And when we went last year, it wasn't like that at all. It was, hey, you bought your G8 admissions ticket, and if you got in, you got in. I thought that was cool at first until Tekken 8 came out, and I was in line 4 hours ahead, and I still didn't get in. Yeah.
I think you ended up telling me that you guys pulled up chairs from the pools after the pools were done, and you were just watching from the outside.
Everyone did that. Everyone, and then like even in line, right? Because granted, I was 4 hours or whatever, like just waiting in line. There's guys in line telling me like, yeah, man, I'm even thinking of going with my buddies and just watching it in the hotel room and getting pizza. I was like, okay, amigo, like that's cool. But no, like even sitting at the pools area, where everyone did pools and fought and competed, it was right next to the arena main stage. And there was the rumble and the loud noises and like the ground shake from the loudspeakers. It was really hype moments. It still bled out to the pools area, and we all felt the hype, even though we weren't there per se.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of energy in the hall for Tekken compared to the other fight. Like I was in there when Sonic Fox won MK1 or MK11, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. I was there. I have a recording here. Play the clip. The arena popped off for that win, but it was like the amount of people in there compared to what I saw on stream and from people's Snapchats inside the arena for Tekken 8. I was baffled. I'm like, I didn't think Tekken 8 had such a serious. I mean,
it was like a whole different thing because so me and Lorenzo were both in the arena when Mortal Kombat finished, and eventually, like, whatever happened, we all ended up outside.
Yeah. As soon as I forget what was that. I think it was Third Strike or something was right after that. Everyone fucking cleared out. Everyone cleared out after Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and I was like,
but even then, it wasn't like we were all stepping on each other to get out. It wasn't packed. There was hella seats everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the some of the clips that I saw of people for the MK part, those guys were in the nosebleeds, and the nosebleeds were packed, but that's just because no one wanted to sit all the way in the back if there was front row seats.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you're in the back, you filming like I was, you get a better like shot of how full it actually. Yeah. But all the people in the nosebleeds taking videos like from right under Sonic Fox, you didn't really get the vibe of how empty that space was, and it was huge. It was a huge. They could have done a fucking League of Legends concert in there.
Yeah, no, I was more surprised when they on the loudspeaker said, "We are not allowing anyone else to enter the arena. The fire marshal has declared this area overfilled." And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool.
Do you think they're going to compensate this year? Do you think they're going to roll back those walls to accommodate that this year?
I would rather have them say, hey, we're going to sell tickets again.
Yeah.
Buy your ticket and just go
and actually have a seat. And actually have a seat to be there.
I would rather do it that way. I mean, what I would hope is if you didn't buy a ticket to the arena, you can sit at pools. So every pools had their own like mini screen instead of the grand arena screen, right?
Yeah, they had like the Sony display that came with the PlayStation 5. It came out at the same time as the PlayStation or some shit.
Yeah, it's huge, right? Like
yeah, it's like a 24-inch monitor or some shit.
Like everyone, well, I mean, there's that too, but
oh, you mean mini stage?
Yeah,
where Lily played Sekuno and Harada at.
Yeah, there's mini stages.
Yeah,
and as long as I would say like the mini stages, like broadcasted the same thing, like I'm cool with that too,
Yeah, and they can too because the infrastructure I was seeing like all like nerdy IT part. I saw the infrastructure in the building for them to do like a seamless cast over Ethernet. Like, here's my HDMI signal over Ethernet into the stage. Like, they absolutely could have just taken the footage from the main stage and sent it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was surprised when you were like, the viewing situation here isn't great right now. Because I wasn't there. I wasn't there by the time the Tekken 1 or Tekken 8 happened.
Yeah, and it turned crazy.
Yeah,
it turned wild.
You know what I would like to see? Because I noticed that there's business suites up top as well. I would like to see them offer that, like viewing rooms. That would also be a cool. If you're spending extra for the experience, that would be a cool.
Shill out thing. Some more money.
Yeah, like hey, if you're gonna buy shit and you're gonna be playing pools, or if you're doing press shit, here's one of the facilities, and we'll cast it to your TV so you guys can watch from there. If you don't go into the arena.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool too. That'd be interesting.
Like one of the boxes at a football stadium,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I was really happy with all of the random. I don't want to say random. All the other activities that they had, like oh gosh, Face a Pro or Challenge a Pro.
Yeah,
like that was
I saw
cool.
All that stuff too.
And then there was the cosplay event.
Yeah. Dude, the cosplay event was really cool.
Yeah, the cosplay event went hard. What I'm sad about was all of the activities that they kind of had listed out wasn't like you couldn't view that anywhere in the event. Like it was, that it happens at this time in this location.
There was no all cosplayers come to the stage, or all viewers of the cosplay competition come to stage 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wish there was something like that. That would have been a lot.
You know what I noticed too? Something that pissed me off a little bit. And it pissed off is hard. Mildly frustrated me a little bit. They had the same problem that we experienced with the YCS, where some shit was happening while we were in pools. And that made me really sad.
Yeah. Man. For me, I'm like, what's better? Just go as a spectator or go there as a player,
Well, and you and I had a whole conversation about this after you and I had took some time away from Evo, where it's like, do we just fucking save up some money and we just roll up there as Big Chumps to sell whatever, or do we roll back up as spectators again, or as players again, and kind of just duke it out again with everybody? I wish they would do all of the preliminary pools day 1. And then they would save all the cool side shit for the next day when they know more people will be available.
Yeah, well, what I think about is, let's say you bought a spectator pass,
Yeah.
and because you could buy just the pass to get in.
Yeah. Just to like watch your friend or watch the side
Yeah.
events. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool, And then in my head, I'm like, okay, well, if everyone's playing pools,
Mm.
why don't put the spectators on day 2? Okay, well, they had a lot more stuff to do for spectators. You can go around shopping. You can go and play the cool arcade machines that they had back up or like in the back.
all the demo booths, 2XKOs, Sparking Zero. Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool. And you see, so I'm like, okay, well, I feel like everyone should have had that same experience, Like, how come we got to wait for everyone to die first and then?
Oh my, dude, that's what killed me the most about the end of day 2 for us and day 3. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the con/expo life. Like, I like walking around, talking to people, taking pictures. That's cool to me. I don't even mind waiting in line. Like, I showed you and Paulo. I got some videos. I got the picture of me with the Oh, what's the name of the dude with the dog from Tekken 8? The black dude.
Leroy. Yep.
Yeah, remember I showed you the picture of the Leroy. I got a picture with Phoenix from Valorant.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. I was down to do that. I also didn't like how packed together that was, though. And I didn't like how crunched for time I felt on doing that, because like you were saying, like, because I was doing all the gamer shit at the front of our trip there.
Yeah.
I got forced to do it all at the end, and so did everyone else, really. Like, I'm sure the 2XKO line, when you and I went in there, I'm sure people were in there for their 10th time.
Yeah.
But also, everyone who finally got out of pools was flooding it at the same time with the people who were watching them do pool. Like, the distribution of doing shit was a little jank.
Yeah. I mean, even like, okay, let's say you wanted to even play afterwards.
Yeah.
It was still very rough. Like, BYOC, bring your own controller, bring your own console, whatever you want to call it.
No one wanted to do it after the first set of pools was done.
Yeah.
We saw so many people set up. When we walked in, we were like, oh, look at this dude set up. Like, that's cool. No one was in BYOD after that. Yeah. As soon as pools ended, people were probably like you and me. They were miffed and they said, fuck this shit, I'm leaving.
Yeah. But hey, for like day 2, after like all of the more competitive people got, wiped out.
Yeah.
I was able to find a couple people and, play some friendlies, and that was cool.
Yeah. My first experience at Tekken anything, because, I talked to you about Guild House in San Jose. Like, there's always Tekken shit going on everywhere out here.
Yeah.
This is my first Tekken experience outside of, just playing with you or Paulo or any of my friends online. And it was cool that the like, what, 2 months of work I actually got to put in trying to play Paul. Someone came back to me after my pools and was like, dude, you fucking had, like, he won the set, but he was like, bro, I was fucking sweating my ass off.
And
I was like, man, that makes me feel good, because I thought I did ass. I didn't think I had all the combos that you were trying to drill into my head.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, like, you were, it didn't feel like you were button mashing. It felt like you were trying to pressure me. And I was like, well, shit.
There you go. Yeah, see, my pools experience was completely different. My pools experience was Lorenzo had all of the fun friendlies. I had all of the competitive demons in my bracket.
Yeah, I got all of the blue plates. You got all of the fucking God of Destruction plates.
I was so sad. Like, no, like, it was exactly what I wanted. That's what I went there for. I went there to be competitive, and oh my god, everyone, like, the first guy I played, like, it was cool. I was like, hey man, like, what is that little USB thing you got connected to the controller?
Dude,
he was like,
I was tripping out over that the whole time too. You and I kept going back and forth, like are what is this? Is it input switching? What are they doing?
Yeah, and then the guy was,
and then
like,
we found out.
Yeah.
It's just a compatibility thing. It's like the 8-bit duo, whatever. Just so like, people's PC controllers could work on PlayStation.
I was like, oh, okay, like cool. And then I was playing on controller, And, you know, I
Yeah.
was like, man, I play on arcade stick at home, but I don't got the arcade stick. I only got the controller. So, but hey, I was still whooping. What I'll go
You was putting in
3-2.
work. Yeah, you were putting in work. Hey, I did exactly what we set out for me to do on the podcast. I matched Lily Pichu on wins.
There you go.
We both
There
went
you go.
1-2, baby. Even though she's been labbing every fighting game since then, and I'd probably get my ass whooped by her this year.
Man,
She beat Harada though. That was cool.
that's very cool. And
That
Harada
was
was playing
very-
Fang. You know,
Yeah.
that's Harada's main. I
Um.
don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, one of the other things that I was upset about for you, we missed out on a lot of merch because of the way that everything was distributed.
Yeah, you know, maybe it was lack of experience and research on my end. I did not know that all of the merchandise had so much cool things.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was the really cool. I don't even know what's the name of that freaking company more.
It was someone's gonna know if they see this. But it was the solid aluminum like machine milled fight sticks with different like brushed metal colors. Like there was pink for Lily. The only one that was sold out was that one, and that was the one that Pree wanted. They told us that they sold out like what the day before or like hours before we got there. I can't even remember if that was day 1 or 2. All I know is that we weren't able to get you it, and the guy was like, "Yeah, that shit sold out like immediately, bro."
Yeah, the Victrix Pro Fight Stick. That was the one that I wanted. And I was ready to shell out the money on that too. The guy was like,
"Yeah, that was the only thing. That was the only thing you were willing to pay a lot of money. Like you were willing to pay the Vegas tax there for one thing, and it was the fight stick. That was it. You were like, I don't care if I gotta pay for the extra bag fee. I'll buy a JanSport backpack to bring it home with me."
Yeah, it was so beautiful. It was so nice.
It was. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I like the Razer Kitsune, which, by the way, that's what I played with. I love that. That was a great investment. I wish it was compatible with more shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that. I think one of the reasons I like the Kitsune so much is because the rest of it is really solid, like plastic. And then you have like the cherry switches or the fuck. It's not cherries. I forget what the switches are. But
optical switches.
Yeah, it's like actual optical switches in the buttons, and then the faceplate is aluminum. And I was like, oh, I might go get this engraved, or oh, I might go get. I told Pree, I was like, I might go get another like piece of aluminum. I might make myself a faceplate because they don't sell them. They might sell them now because it's been a little while since it came out. But like, I think solid metal faceplates or solid metal chassis for things is cool. That shit's always really nice.
That one was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it had a shoulder strap. I could walk around like I'm a freaking Pokemon catcher or a freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc on my arm. They had a shoulder strap for that.
Bro wasn't even gonna sit down. He was just gonna play with it on his side.
Like 5 pounds worth of fight stick, just backpack.
Not 19 inches of fight stick.
Jesus.
I'm sure it was like a foot and some change. It was big. It was a pretty big fight stick.
Oh my goodness. But moving on from Evo, talking about more things of today. What have you been into lately?
You know, I've been real busy, B. I got a different job recently, so I haven't had that much time to do stuff, but I have been watching a lot of different shows in the background just because my work allows me to be like two things at once. Like I can have something playing and I can like somewhat pay attention.
Yeah.
So I've been, catching up on the current season of like solo leveling. I watched all of Dragon Ball Daima this past season, and I didn't have anything else caught up until like a week or two ago. So I was even catching up on Dr. Stone, which I was sleeping on for a while there.
All right, so I want to talk about Solo Leveling before you do your catch me up analysis here.
Yeah, go
so,
for it.
For Solo Leveling, I was watching it on release until it got to episode whatever, and it just recapped the same 4 episodes or 5 episodes. That, like, it was just a recap episode, and that was the upload for that week. And I was like,
what episode?
Wow, that was such a waste of my episode for this week. And then I just completely dropped the episode. And then I just completely dropped Solo Leveling. But as a guy who loves to listen to the, I don't want to say short synapses or recap, like the summary of all of them. Summary of everything I've seen, huh?
Stop the presses, chat. There's a fucking new episode that came out yesterday. I forgot. I've been busy this weekend.
But I have, I want to say watched. I have had the guy read the Wikipedia and explain to me what happens in every episode. And Solo Leveling was one of them where it was, I know what happens in the end. And I have no idea else. Like, I only know the love story between Cha Hu Wei. I don't. Excuse my French.
Hunter Cha
and the main character. And I don't know his name either. Jin Woo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and catch me up. What's happening right now in the show?
I'm trying to figure out what episode you were talking about. I don't even know what was like super recapping.
It was in the first season. It might not even be considered an episode on Crunchyroll anymore.
Like you think it was one? You think it was one of those
like a filler episode?
One of those in-betweener episodes?
Yeah, it might even have been a 0.5, but that's what they released that week.
Man, I don't know what to recap for you. Do you want me to just recap season 2 for you? I don't know what to recap.
Yeah. Like, what's going on right now? Like, what happened? The only thing I remember was they said, "Oh man, he is so strong," and then he goes to the guy with money, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to make a guild or whatever." The kid with a whole bunch of money, with the good armor, but he sucks. And that's about as far as I got.
Yeah, you were about halfway through season 1, I think. Yeah. Okay. I have a good idea of what's going on there. So, there is a 0.5 episode in this season.
Yep.
I found it. So you stopped at episode 7. That's where you stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, let's see.
Yeah, that's me too, man. You know, as an old man with some cobwebs in there, you know, the gears starts turning.
No. My problem is I've reread the series as well recently, so like my brain is like I have to backtrack again to what they actually covered. Because season 1 was like 60 chapters. It was a lot. Even though it's like fucking manhwa, the fucking webtoons bullshit.
Like the scroll, and it's just big pictures like a manga, yeah?
Yeah, so after where you stopped, he goes out on a raid for it's like a D rank. You know, he was marked an E rank. He goes out for a D rank.
Oh, okay.
But you know, he's the man now. You know, he looks like he's the man. So
he changed.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, he changed. He got changed by the industry. So he goes in there and he. Sorry, I'm reading the Crunchyroll synopsis because I'm like, wait, didn't this happen earlier? That happens there. Yeah, there's like this assassin dude and this guy is doing no good. He's trying to kill Jinwoo's friends, and Jinwoo's like, no, I'm not having that. You know, you're fuck. What's a good analog? You know how you know Misty Step from Baldur's Gate?
Oh yeah,
you know
the teleport.
Yeah, so yeah,
teleport.
So the assassin guy goes Misty Step, and he's like, ooh, I'm hiding. And he tries to, get you. So Jinwoo's like, oh, you're trying to get me? You're hiding? Nah. Grabs his knives and he bodies him. And then
his like, knives. He got one knife.
Yeah, and then Jinwoo's like, I got that. That's not a knife. This is a knife. And then he bodies him. And then Jinwoo goes on to walk away from those friends because he's like, y'all are pussies.
Mm.
And then he ends up in the fucking his little virtual world. He's like, I gotta figure out what's going on with this virtual world. And then there's like this Dark Knight, but not Batman, not Bruce, but there's a Dark Knight, and the Dark Knight's like, you gotta come fight me. I'm big. I'm bad. He tries to body Jinwoo. Jinwoo almost dies. And then Jinwoo bodies the Knight. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. He gets stronger. He bodies the Knight. And then he starts with his catchphrase. He says, arise. And the Knight comes back as a darker Knight. A Shadow Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Jinwoo's like, all right, I gotta go do some shit. I can go make this potion to cure my mom's super cancer. I'm gonna go do that. But he's not strong enough to go do all that yet. He gets bodied. So we put it off for the season.
And so instead, it's him building his army of henchmen.
Yeah.
His city of goons.
He gets all the henchmen that were with the Dark Knight. He's like, all of you, you're mine now. My henchmen.
Right. Hear me out.
Yep.
Is Jinwoo schizophrenic? think about it. He has his own world that only he can see. And he has goons coming out of the shadows that only he can see. Hear me out.
Follow-up question before I answer that. Would you consider the Narnia kid schizophrenic?
When you go into the closet,
yes, then I'll say yeah.
Oh. Does that mean that everyone who comes out the closet is
little schizo, little delulu? We'll leave that one hanging. We'll come back to that later. So season 2, Jinwoo shows up. He's like, I want to do a raid. I want to get stronger. Goes on the raid. The raid ends up being a super raid. It becomes a red portal.
Sorry,
red portals?
Oh, okay. Real raid, not his raid.
Yeah, not Raid Shadow Legends. He's raid in real life. He's doing the Pokemon Go raid. Pokemon Go raid ends up being a red one, which is bad. You can't come out of the red one. You can go in the blue one and come out. You can't come out the red one. You got to beat the boss first. You get stop locked. So Jinwoo just happens to sneak in there, and he's like, "Okay, we're doing this raid. Cool. Oh man, I got to kill this boss. Okay." He fights this big old polar bear. He fights Volley Bear.
Oh.
And then he's like, arise. I got a Volley Bear now. He's dark. He's dark Volley Bear.
Yeah, he's collecting all the Pokemon.
And then he kills one of the guys from the raid party because everyone else died. And then this one guy who walked off without Jinwoo, he's salty. He's like, y'all set up a camp over here. You're eating meat and potatoes and wearing warm parkas without me when I'm dying? Where's my healer at? So then Jinwoo's like, I'm sick of this shit. Kills him and then uses the guy to beat this elf guy. Low-key looks like Asterion if he was an ice elf.
Gosh dang. That's solo leveling to me.
Yeah, so then we fast forward and Jinwoo was like, oh man, I gotta become S rank. I gotta re-rank myself so I can do this shit on my own. And then he walks over to, the mines because he yearns for the mines. He wants a diggy hole.
Nice.
Because he wants to see what those B tier raids are like. He's like, I gotta see what I'm getting into. So he becomes a miner.
Sorry, and he beats a miner?
No, he becomes a miner.
Oh, he becomes the miner. Okay.
Yeah. And he also befriends a miner that may or may not want to diddle him, but that's a different story.
Oh yeah, because he's starting his own guild, right? And then
yeah. And the little girl's like, "Oh my god, he's so cool, Jinnah, your brother, so cool."
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to be a miner because he yearns for the mines, diggy hole.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go get I could get this boss. You know, all these guys they clocked out for lunch. I could go body this boss. I could just be like, right, yeah, he go get it."
Mm-hmm.
But then Hunter Cha, you know, she can smell if you're a League of Legends player. She smells it. She's like, she smells Jin Woo. She's like, "Oh, you shower. Oh, that's sex."
Jesus Christ.
That's sex.
You
I like a man.
Grass.
Yeah, I like a man that touches grass and showers after playing League of Legends for 2 hours. So Hunter Cha, not Jinnah. Hunter Cha is like, "Hey man, I hope you don't plan on taking that dragon all by yourself." And he's like, "Oh no, man, I'm just a miner. Don't worry about me." And she's like, "All right, get your ass out of here then." And then she's like, "Man, that guy showered. That's crazy."
Yeah, she even runs back to him, right? She was like, hold on, 1 second.
She like, "Hold on. Is that Irish Spring? Ooh, that's sexy." So you know, he fucks off. He finishes the first miner job. He goes back to the mines the next day. Because the boss man's like, "Man, you were made for the mines." The squire of the attack party doesn't show up. They need a guy to carry the bags. Jinwoo was like, "Ooh,
hey, he got experience. He got prior work experience."
Yeah, Jinwoo's like, "These shoulders right here, they're made for it. Pull me in,
the forklift,
boss."
Yeah.
So then he goes in. The B tier mining raid. It's an A raid. It's an A raid. They didn't know.
They didn't know it turned red from blue.
No. This is a different one now. He beat the red one was the ice elf.
Oh yeah.
We're done with that one.
Yeah.
Yep. We're in the mines now.
Mm-hmm.
So second mining trip ends up being a higher rank than it was supposed to be. The Federation, they're beep boop boop boop. Oh shit! Go call the guys. You know, get the guys over here.
Mm-hmm.
But Hunter Cha, she's low key stalker now. She's
doodoo. Hey, do you think that's what Jinwoo feels when he gets those notifications? Think about it like this. Does it just pop up? Does it just like it just boom in the middle of your screen like a pop-up ad?
It's like the push notification.
Hot milfs in your area, just boom right in the middle of your screen. What do you think?
Maybe I think so. And then he's like close, cancel, and then it's like Siri. It's like the voice assistant, and it's like, "Oh, dialing Jin off or booty call." He's like, no.
Those are my favorite, bro. I always get calls when I'm listening to music on the AirPods. And it's like, "Call from blah, blah, blah. Would you like to answer?" And I'm like, "Answer." And it says, "Okay," click. And I'm like, "Huh?"
I guess I didn't want to talk to him.
Like, all right, cool.
So he goes back to the mine. Mine's worse. The guys are like, "Call the guys. We need the guys." Hunter Cha's kind of stalking him though. She's like, "I know that Irish Spring anywhere. Let me go check on. Hey, boss man of the mining team. Did that cute boy go in there?" He's like, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "Ooh, I gotta go get that boy." Grabs a pickaxe. She's gonna go body the boss with the pickaxe. Walks in. She walks in. She smells the boss. As soon as she walks in, she's like, "That motherfucker ain't showered in his life. He's a Smash Bros player. For real." All of the people on the party, the attacking party, they get bodied immediately. You know, fucking planetary devastation.
Oh, yep.
This orc mage guy, he goes, "Ooh," almost kills the party leader. It was his first day on the job as a leader. He gets squished like a bug. Squish. And Jinwoo walks up next to him while he's on the floor. He's like, You want me to handle this, boss? This guy giving you problems? You need me to handle this, boss?"
He's holding the bags.
Yeah, he's holding the bags. They think he's an E rank, and they're like, this dying guy, he's bleeding. Now he's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Bam! Guy's in the ceiling. He throws one of the orcs in the ceiling. The party leader's like, go handle business.
Dude, it's just like all the isekais, bro. Or the overpowered.
So then he bodies everyone. Hunter Chaw's like, oh my god, that boy he has hands and he smells like Irish Spring. Shit. Then the Popo show up and they're like, y'all can't know about this guy. We're leaving. Next day, Sun Jin-woo becomes the 10th S-rank hunter in the world.
Just like that, man.
Very, very famous. Everyone want to talk?
0 to hero. He's over there stabbing people with his little knife.
Yeah.
And he's the top 10 hunter in the world.
And then we end up in the demon world again. Pieces up
his world, right?
Yeah, his world. We end up in the demon world again. He pieces up all the floors. He goes from level floor 20 to the floor 100. He's like, all right, rich guy, I'm going to be gone for a week. Pieces up all 80 floors in one go.
Dude, Kirito couldn't even do that.
Nah, bro, he min-maxed. He was like, I'm just going to do it. On the way there, he kidnapped some Demon King's daughter. He's like, you're mine now. Show me where to go. He said, do you know the way? Show me it. And then he bails on her as soon as he beats the Demon King.
Oh yeah, dude.
He steals the dragon. He learns how to do instant transmission. She's like, oh, let's go to my house to celebrate. He's like,
just like that.
And she's just left there hot and bothered. She's all blushing and shit because he won the land. He won the land for the honor of her family.
Yeah, and then he killed her dad, and she loves him.
No, he didn't kill her dad. He killed the Demon King.
Oh.
It was just some random demon that he stole her from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So some like mid-level noble. He
concubine.
He brought prosperity to the land. And then she's like, "Hey, you want to come back to my place and celebrate?" He's like, "Nope." Skirt. When he teleports, there's like one of the regular soldiers behind him, and the soldier's like,
must have been the wind.
Yeah, and then the demon girl's like, man, I can't fuck a shadow. What am I supposed to do with this?
Man, that guy's schizophrenic, I'm telling you.
And then we go into the training arc. Right?
Again.
Yeah, training arc again. Well, we're not training Jin-woo, though.
Oh.
We're getting all the S ranks together because we're going to go fight some bugs. We're setting up for Bloons, TD...
7.
Yeah.
I
was trying to remember how many games were. We got to go fight the bugs. There's bugs. Ants like this big, right? Except these ants, they're the size of a Pree. A Lorenzo even. Maybe even a Shaquille O'Neal or two. They're big. And they got hands.
Chimera ants, okay.
Yeah. They're stuck on an island like 50 miles off Japan or some shit. They're bugs. They can't go too far. They learn how to fly.
Hey, it's the same bugs, right? From the beginning of the show?
Yeah.
It's the same bugs.
Same bugs. They get better, though. They were trying to swim off the island. Nah, they just fly now.
Hey, terraform Mars? Like, the cockroaches went to Mars?
And then Jin-woo bodies this like national hunter dude. The national hunter dude's like, oh, this cocky bitch, I gotta piece him up real quick in front of his bitch. And then he gets pieced up because Jin-woo starts laughing and smiling while they're training. Jin-woo's like, I'll train with you, I'll spar with you, but you can't hold back. You need 100% of your power or you'll die. And then he pieces him up and the guy's like, that guy's an animal. Who's this Jin-woo guy? And that's where we stopped. That was the last episode. And now there's an episode for me to watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tune in next week or 2 weeks from now.
I can't wait to see how you edit that one into a short.
Yeah, tune in 2 weeks from now when the next podcast comes out and I get to know what happens next in the show.
Man. We're gonna have to save Daima's recap for next episode as well.
Yeah, same with Dr. Stone.
Yeah. Because I really want to get to this last topic. It seemed like you were interested in this one too. We can do Poquito OT for this one because we both got some things to say about it.
All right, go ahead, fire away, amigo.
So something that I noticed recently, listening to other like YouTubers and streamers and shit, is IGN's been doing some boo-boos in the form of there's been some good content being rolled out in the last several months. Like apparently a lot of people like Transformers 1. It was an animated film. I'm not a big Transformers guy like that, so I didn't want to watch it. But everyone I talked to about it said it was a banger. It was really good. IGN gave it a 5 and called it mediocre.
When I was 6 years old, IGN was just coming out, I think.
Yeah.
And I thought IGN was all about games.
Yeah, you had IGN, and then you, if you had subscribed from GameStop, you had Game Informer. Those were the two outlets that like mainstream media gave us as kids.
And now they're talking about movies.
Yeah,
we're not even talking about games no more.
Nope. And that kind of spawns the question that I have in the notes here, where does journalism still have a place in pop culture, like the atmosphere? And to your point, you're saying like IGN used to be in gaming news.
Mm-hmm. Imagine Games Network.
Oh, is it Imagine Games Network?
Yep.
I thought it was in gaming news. See, that I never even learned the acronym. No, but the one of the points that I heard, another thing that kind of inspired this is they also gave Invincible's season 3 finale a 4 and outright called it bad. And one of the things I heard, I forget who I heard, I think it was Moist Critical said this specifically, and I thought it was a good point. A lot of these review companies, like businesses that were traditional media that like grew beyond traditional media, like they're still around and they exist in the online medium with everything else, like YouTube and everything else.
Yeah, Google Plus.
They end deep cut. They end up assigning people these articles to make. They're like, hey, you're gonna cover Pal World's DLC coming out next month, right?
You got journalism degree. Get in there, brother.
I agree with the sentiment that it feels like some of these people are being assigned topics that don't really seem relevant to what they're interested in the first place.
Yeah.
Which is both good and bad, because you and I have had this conversation ad nauseum about our main review videos, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to destroy them with negative comments, but we don't want to jack them off either if we're fans of what the source material is.
Yeah.
Like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was humbling for me because I love comic books. Comic books is one of my big things. And that was my pitch to you. It was like, oh, dude, I can come in with the perspective of the nerdy comic book guy. And, you've played plenty of games where, you play with different people. Like, you played Borderlands more than I have. You played all these different games where you have to play with people co-op. And what we thought that game was going to be was drastically different than what we actually got.
Yep. So
being objective about the content's good, because I think despite it being objectively bad, I think we were as fair as we could be to the game, just because it was, hey, as a DC fan, I'm disappointed. As a game fan, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
But it's because I'm objectively disappointed. It's not because, oh, they discredited Batman, they killed him off, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. No, it's The story narratively is really bad. It's strung together. It doesn't feel coherent. The gameplay is very campy. It plays like Destiny and for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So I definitely think there's something to be said where it's like, okay, we have this business that is supposed to cover pop culture media stuff, like Invincible episodes, like Transformers movies, like video games.
Yep.
But they're being handed to people that don't seem to really be interested one way or the other. And like the Invincible finale one rings out to me as like someone asked Chat GPT or they looked up a synopsis from someone else and they kind of just put together their book report based on the summaries that other things gave them.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing said it was dog shit. Obviously it's dog shit because this one thing said that.
Yep.
And I think that's important to note, like, maybe we shouldn't just hand off these random topics to people in media, but also like these news outlets might not be relevant anymore because you also get every I was gonna say VTuber. I need to step away from my computer.
Yeah, you need to stop watching Iron Mouse a little bit, huh?
Name
all the V Shoujo members.
I need to. I actually couldn't.
Oh. What's the name of the whale?
The whale.
Or the orca? Right? Which one is that?
Are you talking about V Shoujo specifically, or?
Oh, I was talking about a VTuber that's a whale.
Oh, in general, there's one called Shy Lily. I think she's a whale, or.
Gotcha. See, there you go. Maybe he needs to step away from the VTuber scene.
I mean, you said V Shoujo and then did a non sequitur. I was like, the fuck?
Oh, is she not V Shoujo?
No, I think she's indie.
Oh,
just a regular ass YouTuber. Anyways, my question in the podcast notes is, does the journalism for like the gaming, the movies, and all that shit still have a place in the ecosystem? Just because like owning a website and hosting a website feels so much easier than it used to be. You know, writing a blog on Twitter or Facebook or whatever the fuck your medium is feels easier than ever, right?
Yeah.
And I know part of the luxury of being on a platform doing it, like IGN, is you get the prestige of, oh, this brand is known as a journalism outlet.
Yeah.
But then you also ruin the credibility by letting any Joe Schmo just make a whatever at like when the public discourse is, hey, actually the show is really good. Hey, this finale was really good. And no one's fact checking the guy that said, this is a bad episode. This was mediocre as fuck, or it was bad as fuck. It's the same thing as a newspaper, not the chief editor not reading the final draft before it runs to print.
Yeah.
Because then, like what's happening now, specifically with the Invincible one, because it's the more recent one, you get a lot of people in the space saying, what the fuck is your problem? Like IGN does not have a good track record right now because a lot of these things that people do like are being classified as objectively bad. Like, let's call it what it, a 5 for Transformers. Any Transformer movie is bad. That is objectively bad. If you get a 5 out of 10 on a movie, that is bad. That is a bad movie. So that's why I wanted to bring up this topic, because it's like, where do we draw the line for the journalism? Where do we, like, do we make sure people who are a little more in tune with the mediums they're being given or the topics they're being get, like, do we make sure that it's more focused on for the person that's actually working on it, or do we even need these big companies to even do that for people? Because like I said, you get every YouTuber on the planet that could do a review about Invincible season 3.
See, so what I found interesting, right? Because you were talking about this topic, and I was like, you know what? Let me take my step in and let me do my research from what I remember from IGN game reviews.
Yeah.
Because you just talked about all of media, right? Or all of external, not gaming.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the gaming side of it.
Yeah.
From our experience from the review videos that we've made, my personal, I want to say agenda, my personal agenda for those reviews was, if anyone was to watch this, they know what the game is about, what the game has.
Yeah.
And with just that alone, how do I keep you looking the whole time, the whole review?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you keep their attention and you feed them information.
At that point, from exactly what you've been going on about just now,
yeah,
I've run out of time. I've run out of time to have that input.
Yeah,
I don't have any time to do the deep dive.
Yeah,
and we've seen it actually in the last review we've tried to make where, what is the happy medium? If you make a good statement and you have to back it up, well, you're gonna lose me if I don't really care to listen to your argument.
Yeah.
But if you just take what I have at face value, because I'm not even, I can't make such a strong argument. I'm just gonna have to say, hey man, the game's good, or the game's a thumbs up. Yeah. Because my statement sucks.
Yeah, and that was a big point of contention with us at first too, because originally Bargain Bin was supposed to be a out of 10 rating.
Yep.
And then when it became Bargain Bin Reviews, it turned more into not just we're gonna cover whatever like the $5 game at Best Buy is that week.
Yeah.
We'll cover modern stuff, but you wanted everything to be as objective as possible, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to let you know how we feel about the game.
Yeah.
We're trying to give you the most objective, like close to before you buy, but not even before you buy, because we're not even trying to sell you on it.
Yeah.
It's all informational for whether you buy the game, whether you don't buy the game. And the only part that's not objective is hey, if it's on Steam for like $10 like it was when we got it, go pick it up. That's it.
Yeah,
that is the most objective part we do.
Yep. And to add on to that, because that's how I wanted the reviews to sway into, where it's all objective, and if there is any subjective, our statements have to be general enough to where we're not wrong.
Yeah.
But precise enough to understand where we're going with it.
Yeah.
It's such a thin line. And I think for I'm just going to throw the example out here. Yeah. I watched the latest Dynasty Warriors games review.
Yeah.
Not today, like back when the game came out.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, oh, you know what? Like, the way I structured the review was really similar. Like, it's exactly what I thought. And then I was thinking about it, like, and then the person in the video says, the no talking main character cliche wasn't very good, but it works. And I was like, huh? You could just throw in a statement like that and we just move on. Like we just move on. I'm like, okay, all right. That's where I wanted to draw the line in my video.
And the reason that like the way that we wanted to, or the way that you and I compromised and agreed to do the reviews going forward, the reason it worked for me is because it makes sense in terms of like actual like normal literature and journalism, right?
Yeah.
Be as objective as you can. Make not blanket statements, but make generalized statements originating from truth, or something to that effect is what my teacher used to tell me. Like what you just said, the voice act, the silent character trope is poo-poo, but it works. That is actually probably one of the only times you should put a subjective comment where it's like, personally, I don't think the silent main character trope is good. I would have liked to see a more fleshed out interaction system for that character.
Yeah, see, that's and that's what I mean. Like,
because then you're lending constructive criticism to the developer,
and that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah,
they're not. It's just that's it. Like you just said your statement and you're gone. Like you don't try to back it up. You don't let the other guy, like you don't even think about the other guy's side.
Yeah, even what? In like behind closed doors game testing, because I've been talking about how I've been doing that for a couple years now. They always tell us the main thing is, hey, if there's bugs in the game, we and the developers probably already know. We want to know how you feel about playing the game, and then when it comes time to write your review, you can be as objective as you want, because we'll ask you when you there will be a section to ask you, hey, if you were to add something to the game, or hey, we want to know how you felt about this mechanic. But in terms of what they want for the product, they want to know what you experienced, how you experienced it. So then when they pass that information along to like the marketing team doesn't want to know how Joe Billy Bob from fucking Texas, Arlington, Texas felt about the game. Because Joe Billy Bob might not be into Pac-Man Fights Godzilla, the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But if Joe Billy Bob from Arlington, Texas says, hey, the game is a third person over the shoulder, how is Tekken categorized? Like arena fighter.
Yeah.
Where you play as Pac-Man and other Namco characters fighting Godzilla. That is an objective, like that is what the game is.
Yep.
It's just weird. It's weird, and it feels yucky seeing things that are generally liked being given very obviously wrongfully negative opinions. But at the end of the day, that's part of the problem. We're getting opinions on a news forum rather than, hey, this is like a generalized review of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, which, for the video, for like the game videos, I think they do a pretty good job with that. Like,
yeah.
Objectively, like they do objectively do all of the objectives.
Yeah.
It's just the little subjectives.
Maybe they're just stretching their
bad apples.
Maybe,
yeah, the bad apples get me more.
Yeah, I think they're just stretching themselves thin, because you were saying this too. This was a gaming review platform, and now they're stretching themselves out to do all these other things. And that might be where the complaint I agree about from whatever YouTuber I said I got it from. That might be where that lends to it, because like they're stretching themselves thin to start covering more shit so they stay relevant. And people who don't give a fuck about whatever they're reviewing are just doing whatever reviews. Oh man, I forgot this Invincible review is due tomorrow by 10 a.m. Well, ChatGPT, and I'll put it on in the background while I transcribe it for my words.
Yeah, honestly, those articles are looking like, I want to say, if an old man who wasn't into the game or likes nothing or knows nothing talks about it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I almost want to copy all of the stuff from the Invincible and Transformers articles and run it through a GPT detector.
And be like, how many of this is copied, huh?
Yeah, how much of this is not original thoughts? No, but I think that lends to the credibility too of like what we were doing, where it's like you do have good actors, whether it's in the big platforms or just YouTube. You kind of just need to know where you want to get your sources of information, because like I hear about like behind the scene stuff for movies and music and games all the time.
Yep.
But I can't just take it at face value,
Yeah, man. Everyone who's the best will say that something is the worst.
Yep.
And everyone who only knows the worst can say how good the worst is truthfully. Yep. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, there was this older guy that was in this last game test session I did recently. And, you know, he was an older guy, big comic book head. And there was a lot of different things that people were into. And he would just be like, oh, that was dog shit. Oh, that was trash. Like, just no room for argument. Just like, oh, I thought that was bad. I'm an old school comic book nerd. That was dog shit. And some of his arguments were fine, right? When he gave me objective reasons like why Robert Pattinson's The Batman was bad, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, the cinematography looked a little weak. I didn't watch it, but you know, my initial impressions from the trailer was that it would be a weaker movie. But when he tells me, you know, yeah, I fucking hated watching a vegan Batman. I'm like, okay, man.
You're like, all right, dude. You know what? That's over the top for me.
Yeah. But no, like being getting back to doing game reviews, because this was the first like play test that I've done this year. It makes me more excited to see what's coming up this year for games. Just because I want to try and cover a couple. Like the game reviews are definitely more high production for you and me versus, you know, just whatever fucking gaming video or whatever podcast episode. But there's definitely stuff that I want to review. Like the did you ever play It Takes Two?
Did I ever play it? No. Have I seen a lot about it? Yes.
They released a new game, and it's like more like you play as normal humans this time, but it's another like co-op style game like that from the same studio.
Cool.
There's a lot of stuff like that that's coming out, and I'm just like, oh, dude, like I want to get back on this because I enjoyed doing the reviews for the recent playtest. And then, you know, whatever DLCs come out, like there's an Elden Ring that's coming out this year that's like co-op.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like I want to get back into that stuff because one, I think it's fun to do that content because that's probably the most like I think true to form where you and I are, just because we have a lot more time to formulate our thoughts versus like Outlast Trials. I got my asshole spooked.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I could be into that or you could be into that. We both might not be into it. Or the third guy that's with us might be super into it. But the energy level could be all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I really wish that we got on footage? I wish we got Mario Kart when you forced me to get all the gold shit.
Oh,
that
dude,
was probably the most genuine fun I've seen you have playing Mario Kart ever. Because you're like, no, we gotta grind this shit, man. You need all the gold stuff.
See, it's so crazy because you've seen me play games before. Half of the time, I play the game and I'm like, man, this game sucks. I don't even look like I'm enjoying the game, but I'm beating the game. I'm playing it.
Yeah.
But when you actually see me, oh, there's a challenge that we can grind and we have to grind to get.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm all for it. I played World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That game is grind.
I'm really excited for a few choice games when they come out, just because I really want to put you in front of them. Not because I think they're your type of game, but because there's specific things I know that are going to be in some games that you will thrive because it's a bitch and a half to do it. And I'm going to sit you in front of it and you're going to be like, how long did it take you to do this? 16 hours? All right, we'll do it in 8.
Yeah, exactly, right. But
you know, we very well may get an 8-hour play session out of you, or you might just be like, "Man, this is bullshit," and that in itself is going to be the video.
That's perfect. That's perfect. See, and then the second video, is the deep dive.
Oh,
there's the deep dive. You know, dude, we're gonna put Minecraft parkour. We're gonna put Counter-Strike parkour, or like
dude, you know what? Actually, bring back Minecraft Adventure Map YouTube videos. You and I are gonna play Minecraft, and then we'll just put. I can do the video for the deep dive later.
Yeah, and then that's literally the background.
Easy, or it'll literally be me in cinematic mode, in Minecraft. I'll open I'll turn on the server for you. And it'll just be you farming for however many hours in game.
Yeah, you just see me setting up the automatic farm
Yeah.
for fucking 2
like
hours.
it's gonna be a time lapse. It's gonna be a time lapse. I'm gonna be like, all right, Pree, do your normal Minecraft thing in this 100 by 100 square, so I can see it.
Man, that's
And then the review video is just gonna be a different time lapse of you doing shit. Like when we made a Navy ship in one of our Realm servers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of stuff. Buy a third Minecraft account, have that watching while we're just building a ship.
There you go. There you go.
We're gonna be gone for half of it because we're gonna be getting the materials for the fucking ship.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, that's what it's looking like for the future.
So subjective opinion.
Yeah.
Where do you think modern IGN's place in the community is right now? Do you think they should scale it back? Do you think they should focus on gaming, or do you think they just need to tune how they do the other things to make it work better?
There's a lot of you in YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think all of the big news and media outlets,
yeah,
they always should compare and showcase the best. And, honestly, IGN is there to showcase the beautiful games.
Yeah.
If IGN is there to talk about a fucking movie, I don't, like what, like, sure, like, okay, make it more like the game. Okay, well, you gotta talk about how Batman is able to save Arkham. Like, cool.
Yeah.
But stick to Batman saves Arkham, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I wished Batman would have been like Robin.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Man, I didn't like that this version of the Batsuit, he wasn't caked up from Tuesday to Thursday.
Keep your opinions to yourself, IGN. Keep doing what you're doing.
But focus on the old school journalism norms. All right. Well, that covers everything I want to talk about this week. I think that's the show.
All right. So if you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave a like. And I think we will catch you in the next video. Spotify.
5 stars. Rate on all whatever the fuck this is on, and comment if you want to. I don't care.
All right. And doo-doo.
See you in the next one. Bye.